have an advice column, and I will read to you guys the question, and you guys can give me your thoughts, okay? So it says, question, my partner's work habits are atrocious. And then the question says, my partner, Bo, has always had trouble keeping a job for more than 8 months. He told me it was mostly due to reasons outside of his control, like terrible bosses.
Is it his gay boyfriend?
Do you need to know that now?
That's such a specific question.
I'm trying to imagine what this is.
I feel like it's a girl that's dating that just moved in with the dude, and they're like, oh shit, this dude isn't who I thought he was.
This guy's a loser.
Because they're lovers, right?
Yes.
Okay, they're lovers. That's all I need to know. Gender neutral lovers.
Okay, so then I'll continue. He says, I've generally supported him in his employment search for the past few years. I have a pretty high-powered career myself, but I've always tried to keep that separate and not rub it in when he's had so much trouble finding a good fit. Working from home has starkly illustrated what makes Bo such a bad employee. I feel bad for saying this, but it's hard to watch. Bo has few, if any, organizational systems. He writes down tasks on random slips of paper, which then get lost.
That's organized.
And I frequently hear him having to apologize to folks for forgetting deadlines or deliverables.
Sounds like me.
In meetings, he rambles incessantly.
Bo or Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, it does sound like Joe.
B-O-E.
Lives in Bomalia. Sorry, I'll stop you now.
In meetings, he rambles incessantly, taking forever to get to his main request. If I was in a meeting with him, I'd just tune out and avoid future meetings with him. When he's overwhelmed or stressed, he adopts a tone with people and makes them feel bad for asking him to do things that are 100% part of his job. I've coached many entry-level employees over the years, and I know these behaviors are definitely coachable. It's not an undeniable part of his personality. Though I obviously wouldn't coach him myself, I'm thinking of recommending that he reach out to a career counselor or coach to help him with executive functioning. He'd be so much more effective in his job, and I know he'd be happier knowing he was doing a better job. It's hard to watch Bo, I almost said Joe. It's hard to watch Bo make these
I can't unsee Joe now as you're describing this person.
I can't unsee. Written by Jess. I can't unsee it. Written by Jess too.
It's hard to watch Bo make these fixable mistakes over and over, all the while thinking there's nothing he can do to change the situation. At the same time, I know I'd get annoyed if my partner tried to give me career advice. Bo is really sensitive about this topic in particular. What should I do?
I feel like this person's really loving.
Yeah.
Because she didn't just drop the dude. Because it wasn't like, oh, this is a turn off. I'm fucking bouncing off this motherfucker.
I thought it was a gay couple.
Was it a gay couple?
It hasn't been confirmed, I don't know.
Oh. But I'm like, because he or she is really trying to help develop them, find outside help, make this person better. And what this person is doing at their occupation isn't coming back and ruining the relationship that they have, or it's not affecting the way that he or she sees him. And I'm like, that's pretty mature, actually.
Do they work together?
They're specifically explaining that they've now seen the work ethic because we're in this pandemic and they have to work from home together.
I want to hear Bo's side of the story. I bet you it's like, Snow is so fucking OCD, so controlling. Snow has to have everything like one way, or like Snow's freaking out. Fucking Snow.
What does that have to do with the way and then the fact that he can't even hold a job for more than 8 months?
You talking about cocaine or?
Oh, it's Bo and Snow.
Got it.
Yeah. Bo and Snow. Okay. Thank you for catching on. Thank you very much. Does it affect their lives? Does Bo affect it to the point where he's not making rent?
I don't know.
I feel like I would, like, instead of being like, you need to do these things, I would try to adopt these new ways of like being better, but say it's for me. I'd be like, oh look, having a planner is so nice. I can schedule things and I'm so on time. And kind of just hint my way there.
And they're like, nah, I like my random post-its better.
Imagine they're like, oh cool, that works for you. These post-its were great for me.
How did this person never see that recklessness? Because I feel like certain traits can be seen a mile away.
Well,
if this person's not punctual in regular life, like how could you not catch that? Like certain traits will bleed. if he's always late to your dates or other
Or
things?
who do you expect to catch them? Bo himself?
No, the partner.
The partner. No.
Why are they surprised? Is what I'm wondering.
Well, I think you also have high social IQ. I think a lot of people they don't. They can't see that. Like I can tell how this person treats their library card, and I can kind of extrapolate how that would, you know. But I think a lot of people they just kind of just see things of how they are, you know. Like I could play basketball with someone, and I could feel their energy, see how they problem solve on the court, and I go, I can kind of see how this person would run a business actually. But, you know, but I don't think a lot of people see
True,
things
but
that way.
I think for this case too, it's kind of like maybe all the things that are wrong with Bo in the workplace and what holds him back in the workplace might come off as charming and actually propel him in a social situation.
There's that too.
So it's like,
Like he's spontaneous.
he loves talking so much and he's like really fun to be around all the time, you know, but then when it needs to be systematic and for
Yeah.
work and serious, maybe that playfulness is at his own hindrance.
But obviously, it didn't propel him in the workplace.
yeah, it didn't. Yeah.
No,
So-
he's saying, but socially it does.
Romantically,
Socially.
propel them romantically
Yeah.
He
possibly.
could have like nailed the interview because he's so fun, and then he got the job, and then they're like, "You so irresponsible," and then like he loses the job.
Which is why I think Snow over here is, like Bart said, taking a really mature approach to try and be like, I understand that me trying to coach you in this space is not necessarily going to be helpful for our relationship in the
Yeah.
way that I want to perceive the relationship we have. But obviously, hearing it from another professional or credible source to like help get his career on track, like that's yeah, like you said, like that's fucking compassionate.
Snow should have came home and be like, "You know why you're a loser? You don't fucking got your life together. You keep living like this, and I stay limp. Can't fuck you anymore."
That plus a little tact would be right around there.
But that's gonna hurt the relationship.
Well, how would you handle this then if you were Snow?
I mean, why do you think I'm single?
Or, okay, anyone else in this room?
I'd be single too.
You'd be single?
Yeah, so I think like no. So for me, I think like that's why I really admire Snow in this situation because they are very mature. But for me, I think because I'm attracted to high performers. If someone's not high performing, it already becomes a turnoff. So it's like I'm like, oh what? Like everyone at work hates your ass. You're a fucking scumbag. You can't turn in reports and shit on time. I'm like, ugh.
But at this point, like, I guess, like, considering the situation that we know, like, the facts is like, okay, they're in a relationship to the point where now they live in the same place and they're working in the
Kick 'em
same
out.
home. So it's like some sort of like, they are,
Yeah, I don't know how committed they are either.
yeah, that's what the word. There's some sort of.
But if they just lived for under a year, I would move out.
I think it just depends too, because it doesn't sound like it's damaging their relationship. It's more like damaging the image and respect one person has. So it's not like their behavior's so bad that it's like starting to cause so much stress on Snow where like, you're not fucking paying the bills on time. You're not doing, oh my God. It's more like looking at him like, I know you can do better.
You have potential.
You have potential, and I'm losing respect, and you're shattering this image of who I have of you.
Yeah, because the title of this article, or like the story or whatever, is called "Help." Quarantining with my partner has made me realize he's terrible at his job. So I really do think it's like an image-based thing. Like,
Yeah, and then isn't that her or Snow's issue?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be my issue because that image is shattered.
Yeah.
Then I'm not as attracted. So I would for me, I would move because my image is shattered.
So then your solution to that is to just move away and not deal with that
Because
relationship.
I'm not as mature as Snow, where they can like especially if they're so the commitment matters a lot. If they've only been living together for like a year, then it's easier to just find someone else.
Let's say it wasn't a year. Let's say
I don't
they've been
think
together
I don't
for
think
a few
leaving
years.
that situation is necessarily lack of maturity. I think it's just maybe you just understand what you want.
You have a different priority.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I think you would at least talk or try.
Oh, yeah, I'm not just gonna pack my bag for no reason.
Writes article, pieces out.
That's what that
He
sounded
puts
like.
on blast, Bo. Then I'm out.
Well, do you guys want to hear the answer that the advice columnist gave them?
Was it like,
yeah.
if Bo sucks good ass dick, keep that fool.
That's the advice column.
What if Snow is a girl?
If Bo eats pussy really good,
Then it's worth it?
keep him.
He could have a golden penis. That is a variable that nobody would write in an article, and I'm not trying to go into the immature. I'm just saying he could have a fucking golden penis, and sometimes that is a very powerful. I'm not just saying the penis.
Like, yup.
A perfect golden vagina. It maybe is an analogy for somebody else, but Point is, I like penises. Point is, he could have a golden penis,
Yeah.
and that could be the charisma that we're talking about in the social life and the ladder. Whereas in the actual strategic organizational points, it's like you're terrible at your job.
Very true.
Penis is glory.
For some reason, he can't hold down a job, but he can dick down his wife. So it's like partner.
Yeah, partner.
Partner in
He
crime.
or she.
He or she, partner in crime.
So the answer says, your best long-term solution is probably going to involve finding ways not to watch Bo at work. Obviously, that's tricky.
yeah, ignore that part.
Given that you're both working from home, but look for as much space as possible to put between your workplace and his. Make sure your office setups face different directions, all that stuff. That way, it won't feel quite so crucial to get him to take your advice right away. I want you to be able to find some peace and quiet for yourself, whether he's receptive to a conversation or not. Because they also said, like, you know, you should just approach him and be like, hey, you know, do you want this advice? So then they continue, when it comes to broaching a topic your partner's sensitive about, I tend to think it's best to be direct and ask straight out rather than try to hint your way through the conversation or ask a lot of leading questions. And this quote, we've talked before about your trouble keeping jobs for more than a year, and I have a suggestion I think might be helpful. Do you want to hear about it, or would you rather not? So that's the example. If he's interested, great. You can identify a few major issues because focusing on what's most important or easiest to fix rather than giving him a highly detailed explanation of everything he's doing might be better, right? Or doing wrong might be better. And suggest a few coaches. If he's not, you can back off and let him keep learning from his own mistakes. Either way, look for ways to scale back and disengage from his work habits after you have this conversation so you don't find yourself trying to monitor him for progress all the time.
You guys know I've never been fired before?
That's surprising.
Is it?
Yeah. But then again, you've always been in this position for as long as I've known you, so I have no idea how you
So
work
you've never
under
seen him
someone
in
else's
an
system.
employee system?
Yeah.
How many times have you been an employee?
How many jobs that I've had? Oh my goodness. I've been working since like 15, 16.
We're not talking about like being like a hooker or anything like that.
No, like legal jobs, like working at, I worked at Target, I worked at a call center, I worked at a shipping company, I worked at a water company, I worked at a restaurant, I worked at, what the fuck else did I do? That was the main things that I remember. I worked at a market. Yeah, I never been fired. And I kept jobs over a couple of years too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What did you think about the answer?
Boring. At the end of the day, like I said, like it's just his work style. He just might be annoying because you wouldn't do it that way. But then if he's paying the bills and he's doing things, why does it matter?
Right.
Like her answer's like he writes things on napkins and forgets. To me that sounds like a control issue. It doesn't sound like an issue of, if it was like.
What about the issue that he has expressed that he just can't even keep a job for more than a year, and like that's clearly a problem.
That is a problem.
That's a pretty funny
And
one.
then like as a partner,
Yeah.
like, and then you see like this is clearly like fixable things that I am actually experiencing, but I don't want to step in and like cause harm to our relationship. But then like, do you think as the person that would be able to help, like they should just keep their mouth shut and be like, okay, keep struggling?
I think she's bunching up things that sound more like personal problems versus for him to help him. So like if it was about keeping a job specifically, then it's about I also think that maybe he's not fulfilled too. Like he has to find where this job will work for him, the work style that works for his style. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we all know some high level professional ass people and they're skilled, but they're absent-minded, but they're high performers. So the things that she was calling out, it sounds to me just more like a personal issue.
It wasn't just the fact that he has no organizational systems. It's also the fact that he has attitude when people are telling him to do something that are part of his job. Like there's like clear like.
Well, I think it's like a compatibility issue because it seems like this girl really prioritizes professionalism. So I think that is almost more, so like how someone does something is more important than what they do.
Yes.
And maybe for him, I think what Joe's saying is maybe he just hasn't found what he really wants to do yet, where the professionalism can flourish. But then I think for her, she's probably viewing it from, because it kind of reminds me like how my mom is. Like, regardless of what you do, if you do 10 different jobs, you should do all 10 of them well.
That's also assuming that he's jumping from industry to industry, because we don't know that all this time he's been doing the exact same job that he's really passionate about, but he just sucks at keeping a job. So then this person, the partner, is seeing like there's clearly a way to help. I just don't want to like harm our relationship by getting involved. So then that's why they're asking like, how should I go about it?
It also sounds like if it is a girl, she doesn't want to turn into this person's mom. Like, I don't want to mom them or babysit them or, you know, like.
I think the advice is really good whether or not you're in a relationship with them, because a lot of times people have different learning styles too.
Yep.
Like I've taught people, whether it's like a hobby or games or whatever, like teaching people even how to like snowboard. It's like sometimes I'll ask them first, I'm like, would you rather me constantly tell you like what's wrong for you to fix it like right away, or do you want me to be more hands off and then you can like learn as you go and I'll give you the big points later? You know, and I feel like it's the same thing with that. It's like, if you, like, can he handle the constant criticism or not? But I think having that conversation ahead of time and being like, hey, I want to help you. Is it okay if I, you know, give you some pointers, or should I just leave you alone?
Reading that answer really helped me personally a lot, because I tend to be like, I've said this before, I'm a controlling person, and it comes from trauma. But like, so hearing this, it made me actually view the way I approach you, Casey, a lot of the times.
Am I Bo to you? Or am I Snow? I'm Bo.
No, I'm saying or I guess in this.
Then you're Bo. You're definitely Bo.
Which one of you is Joe?
No,
Don't write on Post-it notes anymore.
the point is.
The notes in your phone count as opposed to.
They don't blow away.
Only if you lose your phone.
Okay, what are you saying?
The point is that the approach, I really appreciated the advice, because then I instead of like trying to jam my ideas or my ways down your throat, I can approach you and say like, are you even, like, do you even want to hear this? Like, because I see a situation, or you seem to be struggling, and I think it would be easier this way, but I'm not going to tell you the way if you don't want to hear it. And I think that was really helpful for me personally, being a controlling person.
Right.
To be fair, let's take a look at Snow here. If you're compelled to write an article about your partner, I think you're also one step farther than the average Joe. You know what I mean? Like, being able to perceive and understand that your partner in the workspace maybe has some habits that they can fix, and you maybe have skills, you maybe have advice, you maybe even seeking advice. But I think if you have either enough energy, time of day, or it's pressuring you so much that you're capable of writing and seeking like public help for it, it's not a bad thing, it's totally doable. But I also think that that is also very like, you understanding is a very, very deliberate and certain way. It would compel you to write about it, you know what I mean? And share your experience and seek to see if there's like a most right way to handle this unique situation. I think that already is something unique and amazing about Snow, but just like very much so. So that person who's capable of writing an article, who's also looking at somebody who like writes on Post-its and throws them away, like that must be very conflicting to the way that you would normally do things and understand.
So I think it's a compatibility thing. It's like one person's like extreme professionalism, like grounded, knows how to channel my thoughts. Okay, I need third-party advice. This is how I do things, and versus someone just seems it's just like, you know, I'm just spontaneous, just going with the flow.
Snow's going like, you know what? I know how to fix this. I need human resources. You know what I'm saying? It's like a very, like, this is the way to go about it. It's like, oh no, I don't know how to do this. I need professional help.
That's why
You know what I'm saying?
It's an issue, it's a Snow issue, or she has an issue with the way he does things.
That's why the advice was great, where it's like, create that space. Don't let it like dwell.
Let him learn on his own, and if you can't be with them, leave.
Yeah, if someone doesn't want to learn something, they're not going to learn it if you shove it down their throat. So it's kind of.
So why do you control their destiny? Like, you can't do anything about it.
True.
But do they suck dick good though?
Hello guys, thank you guys so much for watching all of our videos, and I know it's been a million years in the making, but we finally got Just Kidding News merch.
Yep.
So make sure you go down to the store below, and you can yeah, you can get a piece of JK News. And thank you guys for supporting.
Thank you.
Bye bye.